shut him and kill him. That was actually a decent amount of how high of a level he is.
Yeah, they are finding some ways to bounce back with that. It's coming at a big cost though. Like now your 2 supports were down, but you know, you're leaving the bristleback up top, which usually isn't bad, right? Like we're talking about a bristleback, he's supposed to be lane dominant, but Piao is just so far behind that he does have the soul ring at least to play around with. But
he's gonna die.
Yeah, no. Boka's down here as well.
But Boka's not level 6 though. You would have liked us to that purge being available, but they just don't need it. They have Torrent, they have Bone, and Piao just gonna get taken down by Chuan. It's really that easy. This bristleback is not really a hero right now. Bot lane, they try to apply pressure onto XXS, but he's a Legion commander. You know, you mentioned it before, but press the attack and just run away. You'll be fine.
And, oh god, SCC. Why'd you do that, bro? Why'd you do that? He was thinking.
He was invis, John.
But he could see the tick. He must have seen the tick. It's a max level flame guard. Oh, that is.
We've all done it.
Oh god, that must have been so sad to see. That must have been so sad to do. Like the moment he was like, "Oh, my HP is going down." Oh no, it's too late. Max level shapeshift, attribute shift. You know, it's too fast.
I mean, it's a big mistake. Don't get me wrong. He was not necessarily dominating the lane, but he was having a very, very nice time. But does give a lot of golden XP over to the way of the Ember, who, well, SS, he's currently top of the net worth board, so he's having a great old time. SCC, nice chains onto that Ember, now Fade jumping in, but he doesn't have smokescreen anyway. No smokescreen means you can't really kill the Ember right now, as he is sitting at level 8. SCC, though, he's going to start forcing in that one tower, and if they do find this tower so early on, it is going to open up the map quite a lot faster. But of course, LONGINUS not just going to allow that. They will be there to defend.
Yeah, they have to. It's really important to have control in that jungle area. You need to play catch up there for your Ember and for your Bristle. Even your Batrider can play there. So you need to maintain that control. They are trying to pressure elsewhere, but
yeah, you can't do it though. They do force rotations, so it's not all bad. SCC gonna get jumped on now with the Remnant. Nice Fisher, but the strength morphing is already there. Now the Batrider even gonna rotate in. They're just bringing everyone here, but now ASTER, they're TPing more in as well. They want a duel on XXS. They do find that Ember. Finally locking it down. Oh, that's a huge torrent into a huge boat. 3 heroes getting caught out by that, and they all basically just ran in. A real shame for the side of LONGINUS. Very well timed torrent from Chuan.
Yeah, it was pretty darn optimistic from LONGINUS. Like, they already lost the objective. It's pretty hard to find a perfect positioning to get their spell uses out. But they didn't get to use the lasso. They didn't have the slam available anyway. And it just played again. They have to be a bit more patient. They have to maybe consider fighting in more controlled areas. Not quite the time after you lose at mid-tier 1.
3-6 now, 2k network. Either Lasso going to be getting down to the bot lane. Going to try and just shut down XXS. He does have press the attack, but it's only really at level 1, so that means they should get the kill, and they do. Fade will take over the bot lane for a little bit, and you know, John, I mentioned before that Ricky could go the defusal build. Looks like he is.
Yeah.
The farm, it's not quite a core Ricky, but it does tend to hurt a lot, and well, just the purge there from Boka, they might find this Batrider. This is a core Batrider going down, and he does die. SS gonna come in now with the chain, and Will-O-Wisp there from Dodo. They should find at least Boka. Disruption to be there. XXS now showing his face, but a huge echo just to ensure they get the kill. But now you're going to give this Earthtaker away. XXS should be able to get a nice dual victory off, and does. So ultimately, still working out very, very nicely for Team ASTER. And Fade going to continue the chase here onto the Ember. So they don't really have a smokescreen yet, so they can't slow down and lock it down long enough. But you're still very, very satisfied if you are this ASTER side.
Yeah, you definitely are. Not only are you finding the kills, but this is giving a lot of space to SCC. Like, he got the top tier 1, he's saving up for the shotgun build, and he's uncontested. So your Morphling is on the road towards being a major issue, and Longinus, they've kind of let that slip away.
On the brighter side, at least Piao is starting to catch up a little bit in farm and XP. He's been just stacking up the neutrals and just so I love every time that bounty sound comes in. He's been stacking a triangle for himself, so he'll catch up sooner rather than later. But whether the same he'll have the same influence with this game is a different question entirely. 'Cause half the hero of Bristleback is really just lane domination, and that's gone. So unless he becomes really farmed, I don't know how much he can do for his team.
Yeah, it's gonna be tricky. I do like that.
Whistles up.
Yeah, it's gonna be even trickier to try to sustain yourself there. A lot of these heroes will get impacted hard, and that just means Chuan can keep forcing fights. It's gonna be hard for Longinus to try to commit in the counterfight. They're gonna have to give up this bot tier 1, but no, okay, yeah, just give it.
Out from Dodo.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's gonna be an easy tier 1. It'll be a direct trade, but Longinus will do the same.
Has fallen.
You do have the blink now on the Earthshaker, so a big play can afford to happen now for this side of Longinus. I did see it as well, like, I realized they're behind. It wouldn't be too bad an idea right now to make for a smoke. They've already started. The Batrider getting caught out by Tuan. And bounty has been achieved.
Yeah, they just rotate top after that tier 1 fell. They could punish. They do really easy to find that kill for the side of ASTER right now. And again, the options.
Close call from SS. He was really playing with fire there. Fade was around the corner, so I believe they would have had more than enough damage to actually take him out had they got the duel off. But now SCCC going to be in trouble. Echo going to be committed straight off the bat. Just lock him down. Don't let him strength morph. And Piao does pick up a very important kill for himself.
Yeah, finally punishing that Morphling, taking away some of that gold, although bounty roots.
Yeah, he just wants that bounty. He'll get out of there just fine. Top lane, however, I can't see the same for Chuan. Passo going to be committed. X back onto the Batrider, but Chuan still burning down. Just so much damage coming after this Batrider, but now XXS comes in with the press the attack. Still looking for the duel attempt, but he is not fast enough. I believe he didn't have the phase boots off cooldown at the time, but mid lane, now the jump onto SS. She's going to be there to help out, and SS should just be fine now. SCCC going to keep him morphling. Can't do much to help. He's just going to continue just trying to farm up that ethereal blade.
Yeah, close calls from both sides. Really close for Chuan. Just lucky that the Legion Commander did manage to get the press the attack off to get the debuffs off and purged. So ASTER still maintaining that 3k lead 16 minutes in. You are starting to see signs of life from Longinus. The blink on our Batrider is going to help massively. So you're going to have a Shaker and a Bat that can start fights for you. It makes it a lot easier to reach the backline or even reach the Morphling. You're just catching SCCC out of position with Lasso before any defensive items. Not much you can really do.
Fade will try and make a play here onto Piao. XXS does have a jump, but they make the jump to Revoker first. Disruption cannot come out in time. So nice way to start off this this T1 push. Piao protecting that siege constantly. The rest of the team look to make a chase now onto SCCC, but it will just strength morph and waveform out of there. Now Wang rotated in, XXS trying to find a dual target. They want the Earthshaker, and they will find him as well. Fade will be there with the follow-up damage on the Ricky, but that will not save that bottom tier 1 tower. It does still end up dying.
Yeah, it's a nice little take for Longinus. They are keeping the gold swing from going too far, so it's been a steady 3k. That does mean Longinus is still finding gold, although Piao gets caught out.
Yeah, with that Spirit Vessel, they can take him out here. He's still very tanky, and it looks like the Will-O-Wisp will actually be enough to force them back a little bit. And now SS going to join in. Remnant forward onto XXS, but doesn't quite connect the chains. X now gonna be there on to the Ember with the smoke screen and the Spirit Vessel. Not really doing enough damage yet, however. Now, ES jumps in, he has Echo, and he will commit it and connect onto 3. Now the Remnants forward, and they are gonna just clean up the side of ASTER. It's a lot of damage coming out from this ES, and just a very prolonged team, but ASTER,
Are fortified.
I don't know what going on, John. They had a great start, but they're just not able to follow up.
Radiant structures.
They've bled a lot of their lead away to LONGINUS now, and LONGINUS is starting to find a grip on the map. It's down to damage. Like, without the Morphling, you're not quite bursting on these enemy heroes just yet. And ASTER has been a bit too keen. They're fighting in places where LONGINUS does maintain control, and that outpost allowed LONGINUS to respond to that movement. So maybe a bit more patience from ASTER. Just wait for the shotgun to be up. And it looks to be up already, although, ooh, Courier dying.
The courier goes down. Yeah, that was a shotgun. That's gone for another 2.5 minutes, so... It's a real shame, because as soon as you do get the shotgun, you generally want to just find a quick support pick off and get a bit of extra gold for yourself. The longer you have that, the less impactful it is. Yeah. Bit of a late fish to come out of the LC. It seems as though the side of LONGINUS just want to try and take out this bottom half of the map. ASTER, however, are trying to force the... And this Bristleback, he is caught up so quick. It's this shouldn't have happened, but Piao is he caught up very well, John. He's got the halberd up, he's going for a Radiant next. It's almost like, why not? And the fight has broken out, but Tom is in trouble. Trying to run away now, but SS does get the chains off still. Press the attack will purge that off. Now a nice turret to help him out as well. Forward SS still going and will eventually get the kill, but XXS will have a jewel available for the back. But he was also chained up, so Piao, he finds pain on Ricky. They do finally get the kill off, and they do get the kill on the Ember, but at what cost? Now their Morphling could be in trouble. SCCC trying to get away. He'll waveform to the right and will be fine, but Boca probably won't be fine, as he is now being chased and burnt alive by this Batrider, and should eventually just die, and does.
Is under attack.
3-for-1 trade, LONGINUS once again. And, well, that'll be the T1 tower definitely going down.
Yeah, just LONGINUS managed to bounce back in. It's down to the fact that they've got all these ways to start the fight. Again, the Batrider Blink helps them out massively. You've already got Recovery Farm onto Piao, and it's enough. It is just enough to counteract what ASTER has. Like, this is the time where ASTER needs to mellow out and wait for some farm. Although,
The overstage is walking here, he's around, but he's just very tanky. Apparently it just doesn't matter if he's surrounded, they just don't have any damage.
yeah, it's don't really have the output on Fade to go through that Bristle back just yet. We were talking about the defusal coming out. It hasn't just yet. 21 minutes in, despite that great start for Fade, he has had to sacrifice his farm.
Oh, Echo on the 2, no strength bumping, or maybe there will be. Press the attack Triple C to get out of there. Juan also gets the boat off another. He has caught out with the jewel. A great torrent as well from Kunta. He's falling very, very low. Quite a remnant away, but Fade is right on top of now. Piao falling a bit lower. Bristol needs to get away, but ASTER also pretty low. I'm not sure if they actually chase Tom. You can't run through the fire right now. You will have to walk away.
Is under attack.
Yeah, it's they still find a couple of good kills. They managed to make LONGINUS at Echo Slam, so they don't have to worry about it for the next 2 minutes. And you've finally bought enough time that SCCC does get that shotgun. So you've got the E-Blade up and running now on your Morph. Damage issues shouldn't be there anymore. Although the Bristleback is still probably going to be hard to pick off, but you're going to have a bit of an easier time in actually going through the back. So there are options for ASTER now. This is their time to kind of start to kick up the pace. I think maybe you wait for Fade's defusal first. You really need that additional damage and the mana burn and the slow coming out from that. You just definitely need that tool as well to maximize your potential, but beyond that, it is starting to maybe turn back here for ASTER.
It's have you seen Bo3? He's just trying to rush now.
Yep. I mean, it's really good. Like, the Purge is just so darn good against a Bristle. It's great against Ember when he's caught out. It just gives you a lot of additional control, and it helps you continuously pump out the damage that you want to get out, especially with that, right? Like, there's not much you can do with tricks if everyone can just go away, and this helps them stay in that smoke and the tricks.
And he has relevance once he hits level 25, John. 900 damage per purge.
Oh,
3
yeah.
charges. It's
Ooh.
it's kind of ridiculous as well. Like, it's, you can just casually deal 2.7k damage on someone. They do catch up the Ember, but Lasso is going to be there to save the day. Still the X-Turret on SS. He's trying to remember it out of there. Jewel, no, Fisher will allow him to get out, but SCCC now with the Imperial does blow him up. Just to the nick of time. In XXX, best limit chase down, but another nice target to come out from Schwan. Will-O-Wisp is quite decent there from Toto. Illumine coming up now, the Echo once again just setting up for this long on a side, and Schwan falling very, very low. Should go down and does do so. Now Pal will chase down Baboga on the Shadow Demon, trying to get rid of this pesky support. He does, but SCCC also finding that ES, and now Piao looking to maybe just run away, as SCCC does have the Earth check for Fade. Also a lot of trouble here on the Ricky, but does get away for now. He does smoke screen, still in trouble, but a nice vision from SCCC, and now the Ethereal actually not allowing the Bristle to chase the Ricky down. And he can just try and turn this Fade. He'll jump back in with the tricks. Doesn't really have damage output though, so he'll have to back out. It looked pretty good for a second there for LONGINUS. Ends up being an even trade nonetheless, so it's not all too bad for them, but I'd say the longer this game goes on, the more it does hurt ASTER, because they do have the Morphling. Even the Vicky, like all these heroes. So I don't think even's quite enough.
You really need to be ahead with LONGINUS' draft, and it felt like they underestimated just how much that shot can do. We're also starting to see SCCC go for the Shaker more. So again, he doesn't need the Yags because it's on the enemy team. He can just have that insane additional damage, and it has helped him.
Nice little dual victory there onto Dota. Very, very easy setup for Baboga with the corruption. Let's get the diffuse blade up now. Just sticks around that top lane, looking to set up here on Piao. Taking sharp as well. This could be an easy kill, although I'd say that he's still a very, very tanky target. Do X him up, both to fly in. It looks like now with the Spirit Vessel won't quite be as tanky. The bot lane, bit of a chase here onto XXX there, and it's flying forward. Blade Bell will be popped, but XXX should have no way out of this. Does get used up, and they have plenty of control. I think ASTER just finding the Bristleback will be happier.
Yeah, definitely a bigger kill for ASTER. Again, LONGINUS is tossing their Bristle pretty far, which is what we tend to see Bristles do, right? They want to disrupt the lane, force a response. It's just that when you're past one Bristle, you should be the one farming as well. Like, there's no one else to soak that farm, maybe SS. But the Ember has kind of the same timings as the Bristleback almost, maybe slightly better towards the late, but it's still not the best scaling, and you are giving ASTER time to cook up. Like, you look at SCCC, he's actually going for the Silver Edge for his team, so the Bristle is really just going to start melting once that's up and running on SCCC.
Top lane. There could be a bit of action here. So they do to make the jump on the Batrider. He pops his BKB, but Fade can still do a lot of damage. He just jumps in for the Echo, but kind of just missed everything, and now they blow up the Coddle and the Bat. The ASTER, just another great setup. In fact, it'll be a third kill here as the Earthshaker just won't have a way out of this situation. Does Fisher, does Jules up, but shouldn't be able to get the blink off in time. So now finding a double kill on that Morphling, and yeah, a bit of a shame there with that Echo Slam. I believe Fade actually blinked out, and SCCC was also waveforming out at the time, and
Yeah.
He just missed
Radiant's
everyone.
top tower is under
It's,
attack.
it would have been pretty big if they had that control, but nothing to really follow up. Longness didn't even bother throwing in the Bristle and the Ember. So, just kind of give that away, and because of that, Aster gets a free rush.
It's nice to have that free rush on. They will go ahead and take it for themselves. Of course, SCCC the one to hold that. That silver edge you spoke about, it's going to be coming out a lot
Dire's
sooner.
bottom tower is under
SCCC
attack.
going to go for the Shadow Blade first, but already has that ultimate orb. And once it's up, Piao, he's been having a decent game considering the start he had. He does have the Radiant coming out, but none of it's going to matter with that silver edge. It's going to be very, very problematic here. So they do find the Kuka mid lane, but they didn't get the timing right.
Radiant's top tower
So
is
Chuan
under
will
attack.
be able to just run out of there quite safely, while the rest of his team push down that top tier 2 tower at quite a nice pace. Piao will show up, but
Radiant's top
they are
tower
not
is
intimidated.
It's, Longness needs to
Our scan.
start, well, they need to stop fighting on the side.
Piao, next up, Spirit Vessel up as well. Torrent will connect, but they're not really focusing him yet. They're just trying to get rid of this Observer Ward on the high ground. They took down one, but another was placed straight away. They interesting smoke screen there, but he will go after Dodo, and that's going to be an easy bottle kill. Willis was dropped prior to that. Disruption on the lasso, so XXS will be perfectly fine. There's Echo Slap, but it doesn't really do much to SCCC. Meanwhile, Steve can follow it up. Piao trying to go after Provoker and Knocks Jewel out from XXS, and now Piao, he got one kill, but it's probably going to be at the cost of his own life. As he is just right now waiting for SCCC to make his way in. Well, you can spend cool space as much as you want. They aren't really doing quite as much damage as hoped. Well, he is buying time, I guess. Die eventually. And that was enough time to put a bounty on that BB. You may as well have, but I choose not to.
That's, nah, they're fine. They found enough bounties, and you do have the Shadow Blade up, so it's just a recipe left. Of course, once the Silver Edge is up, again, you're going to be able to go through Piao a lot faster. Longinus now, a 6k deficit Aster, 18 to 25, 30 minutes in. And Longinus? Oh? No.
It was a bit late. I don't know what he blink struck to, but it seemed like he did no damage.
But yeah, it's like Longinus right now can't really afford to fight outside their base. Their high ground is pretty decent with the Cobble and the Shaker and even the Ember Spirit to an extent, but they're just fighting into areas where where Aster can really just take control, and they've been getting punished for that. They do manage to wrestle control back in that triangle area, so they have a space to farm. I don't think Aster is going to be out of that area for too long. They're gonna go back in. They've still got the Aegis. The Silver Edge is up and running, so there's not much to be scared of if you are on Aster's side.
Definitely not. If they want to try and keep being aggressive here, Aster, they do go back Radiant type jungle. Fade got for a nullify now at Ricky. Supply a reminder as well, this is still a Ricky we're watching. It's not a core Ricky, so some people that just joined the chat are like, wow, Ricky so far.
Radiant's bottom
And
tower
now
is under
Baboka has the Active Scepter, so there's 3 chances of perch. Even without that level 55 talent, he's about to hit that level 18 mark. That is still 1.8, 1.5k worth of damage you can get out. In fact, yeah, 1.5k worth of damage you can get out if you just spam it on hero alone. On the Piao, that's going to be a huge pick off. Will fly in. Lasso was there, but does nothing to Baboka. The BKB eventually going to put up as well on that Batrider. Oh, a great X on the Ember as well. They caught him out.
Oh man.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He just kind of spammed all his remnants to try and get a situation, and didn't really press the right button fast enough, and unfortunately, that means that going to be a very, very easy tier 3 tower, and probably Iraq's because they don't have buybacks.
Radiant's bottom tower
Yeah, it's gonna
is
be
under
really
attack.
tricky for Longinus to get in there. They do still have the slam if they want to make a play, but you want to wait for your big hitting quarters first.
Bottom tower has
Look at the
fallen.
fade though. Just jumping in, threatening Dodo.
Radiant's bottom barracks
We'll
are
see a
under
smoke
attack.
pop.
Radiant's bottom barracks. Radiant's
Might go
bottom
for a secondary Iraq's, realizing there's no buybacks, but no, the line's actually been drawn out. I suppose because the agent does expire and it's triple C, they're not really interested in risking anything right now, considering how close the game was prior to that last game. In fact, never mind. Lane, Longinus get caught out. That is not news. There's triple C now getting another kill on the ES, and that's going to be more dual victories for XXS. They do try and chase down Dodo. He'll be alright. He'll get out of there. But this is now the ASTER show. And to make matters worse, SCCC has a paladin sword. He's about to have a full safety.
Yeah, it's a lot of blast. Farmable.
The disruption's there anyway. XXS, he just BKB runs.
Ooh.
Something we talked about in the draft set as well. Now, yeah, already losing so much HP to that soul catcher. They're only going to be on one, and that is going to be fade on the rift. It's not going to matter. Pion's very low right now. They'll lose both the ES and the Brixel, and with that, they'll also probably have a Barometer joining them as soon as he does BKB up. Maybe the Invis rune saves him. And it looks like it does. Meanwhile, a duel going on down to the bot lane. Yes, does find another victory, then just kills off Dodo by himself. A triple kill for FXS. And this should definitely mean another race, but the GG's been called. They've had enough. Their draft has dropped off way too much in this late stage of the game, and ASTER will pull off the game 1 victory.
Yeah, Longinus had a couple of moments there. They just kind of lost out way too much early, and ASTER does manage to build off the back of that.
All right.
FY, he's found himself No-Tail out on his own.
He's trapped him.
There's No-Tail. Is he going to get any sort of backup? No, there's 3 still dead on OG. It'll be a slow and painful death here for No-Tail as Zame comes in for the kill secure.
And I love the way that Chalice popped his BKB super early in that fight. He just knows, I just need to get my ulti off, and he cast it at a very safe range. He didn't wait for the last second of his BKB. He's not very greedy. I think that's a lot of the reason why they've been winning these team fights. Seb has been struggling, still about 1,000 gold away from his BKB.
Bottom tower.
Yeah, this Brewmaster is a display of perfection, really. It's the highest level in the game with his Bloodseekers.
And doing a ton of damage in the fight. One of the most damage in the game as an offlaner.
Bottom tower has fallen.
Now has full Shiva, so even more ways. He's pretty much itemized entirely just to be like, Ana, I'm ruining your game. I've got Radiance, I've got Shivas. You're going to struggle so much in these fights as Phantom Lancer.
Eric's did his best to keep Ana alive, and but Ana wasn't able to do damage because he was ruptured. He wasn't that low on HP, but still can't run around.
Seb,
Oh, I'm just going to ninjas here.
got to be
Watch
careful who
Jerax.
shows up top. Indeed, Jerax. He's going out on his own. He doesn't expect Zame to have this invis rune. And Zame will show himself. Jerax goes across, but Somnus is there.
Someone is not messing around rupturing.
No mercy. They're feeling very confident now at this point, getting these very advantageous team fights as well as getting kills on the split push too. Thompson though, we'll find X-Nova.
Seb, and as well. Between the two of them, they'll take down the support edge. FY's going to come in though. He hasn't got anyone else with him at the moment. It is just FY, so
Yes.
just playing around with Seb.
He has no help around at all, and he's still just making Seb's life miserable.
He's just toying with him. He's just making him not be able to come back. Look, they're already starting to rotate this Brewmaster and Bloodseeker too, and FY, he's ready to look for Seb.
Seb's got to get out.
Oh, Seb.
As indeed FY, the patience keeping that control on Seb, buying time for Chalice to come in. Ana is going to look towards the Tusk. Chalice is now there, does have Primal Split available if he wants to look to take this fight. Somnus coming in as well. As Ana, Seb look to hide in the trees. Can they get out of here? Ana's got a TP available. He's into the trees. He's going to show himself in the lane though. They're going to continue to head over. They are going to see Seb make it out in time. They don't have a stun. Ana, can he get out as well? He can. OG will avoid that rotation from PSG LGD.
FY is just so obnoxious there, following Seb for over a minute, just stalking him, trying to have his team come over.
So that's about, a minute without Aegis being used for LGD. They have 2 minutes left, I would say, to capitalize on this Aegis. Oh man, looks like he is level the PL.
Pretty much back to a 50-50. PSG LGD 2-1 up at the moment in this best of 5 grand finals. 1 game needed to secure the championship title. And at this point, they are ahead here in game 4.
No-Tail hasn't had time to gather a full army of Ancient Crates. Right now, he just has the Ancient Black Dragon. You really want those other auras when you're at a big disadvantage in the team fights already.
Yeah, it's tough though, because Jerax doesn't want to be following around his Chen, giving him the Aghanim, so. As Thompson, see, he does have a Lincoln Sphere picked up, and they should have the BKB finished on Seb too. So that'll give him a little bit easier time to get those Blink calls as he's been suffering to do so in the last few fights. And Somnus, full I've Scotty picked up, about to be level 25 as well.
Yeah, they just need a couple more minutes on the side of OG before they're ready to fight. Wait for the Aegis to expire.
Seb, he's in, gets the call, the characters, but again FY, there with the snowball save. He's going to be fine, and now they turn to look towards the axe. The taunt's going to be out. Seb goes for the TP. They've got the stun to cancel though. Seb held back for now. Thompson trying to offer his best from the side to provide some sort of safety, as he will get Seb back. They're able to get Seb back to safety, and Thompson, he's running away. X-Nova's there with the wraparound, gets the slow off, gives the vision for the snowball. TP from No-Tail's coming in towards the stride, but Thompson, he's trapped.
That's twice in the series that X-Nova just comes out of nowhere. Like, he's just on a warding expedition, then he just ends up wrapping behind these people constantly.
Perfect time.
Perfect timing, and has the Centaur creep to boot. And look at these deep wards that he's placed during that time that he was running around doing so. He now has full vision of OG. Yeah, he sees Ana farming these Ancients right now.
Oh, Ana. FY just giving so much information for the team. He's got eyes on him. Get the punch on the wrong target, but the snowball pass will catch Ana. Ana, he's in trouble. The blood bright silence connects. He's got the Manta back up in a second, but can he really play his way out of this one? He cannot. Ana down for a minute and a half
just having all this vision. I mean, X-Nova throughout this whole tournament has had the best vision in every situation, even when you wouldn't expect it. They're just like, oh, they're fighting on the left side. They're not going to have vision over here. But no, X-Nova always seems to have those prepared in every situation.
And he has some incredible foresight to be able to have these wars that just lead to really clutch pickoffs. And Axe has not spent his money on BKB. He has the money, but he might be looking to save for buyback.
We'll see if any of the buybacks do get forced out. Thompson's still dead for 15. Ideally, he doesn't buy back here. They may have to buy back on Ana. He's gone for 50 seconds. The split coming out from Chalice. He's ready to push in, look for the stun on No-Tail to hold back the Chen as the mid-racks are exposed. PSG LGD, 40 minutes in, able to open into the base and clean out this mid lane of Brax. Still Ana holding on to that buyback.
And they're going to keep going here. They really want to force this PL to come back here.
Stun onto Thompson. He will blink dodge it. But another tier 3 tower falling incredibly fast. They really don't want to use it. Seb jumps in, gets the call onto FY. There's the buyback. The Cataclysm isn't enough to do anything. It isn't. PSG LGD still fighting strong. Thompson getting focused by Somnus. Seb taken down by Armin. The triple buybacks now out as Ana in trouble. He's pulled back for this one. The deafening blast onto the three of them. Knocks them back, but Ana gets focused. Seb! He's in with the call. He has the control onto the morphing Somnus. Now being chased by Thompson. Blinks in with the cold snap. The PLR is on top of it. They get Somnus too. As OG, they have to expend 3 buybacks, but they hold on to the top racks. Somnus now down for 2 minutes. No buyback available on this Bloodseeker.
Yeah, he's 400 gold short of it. It's up in about 8 seconds. OG, they have to make so much happen here. They have to push out all their lanes. 2 of the side lanes are already gone, but I think trying to get some kills here, like on FY here, would be very ideal.
I mean, look how close to Brew is at 25.
So close.
With that primal split cooldown.
Oh, Thompson, he sees it FY. He's used the snowball, he turns with the combo FY with the self-fuels, but OG, they've surrounded him. Seb jumps in with the call, the blade mail, FY's gone.
Instant buyback from FY.
Still that scary, scary time for LGD. 75 seconds without Somnus. OG have the full 5-man pushing in all 3 lanes at the same time as they approach LGD's base.
I don't even know if I give a head for that with this team fight. The LGD are goal, but no blood take over 60 seconds. This could be disastrous.
He's got a full BKB on Seb as well.
Chalice really wants to hit level 25 before he pops that primal split. So close.
Just got to be careful, Seb. Looking for that blink initiation.
Chalice is stepping back. Grabs, they give him the tome. He needed like 5 experience, and they gave him the tome just to make sure that he gets it anyway. Just playing as safe as possible here.
Looks like OG don't feel that the window is big enough for them to push in whilst this Bloodseeker's still dead. They'll back away.
They can't count. They bought back 3 heroes. They weren't able to get any T30s, and there's no Roshan up yet. Big Daddy No-Tail's praying for a Roche right now so they can get that refresher, but
Top shrine.
it's not going to be up. And maybe we'll dodge a bullet.
At least they got a good amount of economy off that, right?
Yep.
It was up to 15k gold advantage, and they chunked it down to 7. Same thing with experience. So they did get quite a lot out of that one, but they ideally wanted to get at least one of those sets of racks to get some momentum pushing in with those 3 buybacks used.
Absolutely, it is this really scary moment of the game now for OG. We're about 5-6 minutes still without those buybacks available. If PSG LGD can find that one team fight, it could be the team fight to win TI in this window of time that they now have presented to themselves.
Ana's gone full in for that butterfly too. As they pick up also an Aeon discount Jeremy, so protected and DD did spawn, however, it was.
It's also pretty scary for Maybe right now. He only has a 5-second BKB, and he does a lot of damage and will get wrecked by the X Blade Mail call if he finds him, especially with his BKB now. There's not that many ways to stop him.
Chalice, right? Just either saving or just getting into the midst of the fights and not allowing OG to get the picks.
And the smoke, it's going to be dispelled.
Let's get dispelled. But it's
Ana, he's in the trees. They're on the high ground. They've got the vision with the Shivas covered. Ana's on his way over. They've got the snowball down. Seb jumps in. He's able to find the call onto Challenge, but Challenge already got the BKB out. The Sunstride's going to be down onto FY, but FY will survive. Seb posts the BKB. He'll try and stand his grab, but it's going to go down. No buyback on the axe.
And
As Jerax as well, surrounded by the Eon Disc will proc, but they'll fight through it.
he has to buy back immediately.
Look at these creep track by these Force Spirits. On the bottom room, they have no creeps in the mid lane.
Sienna still holding on to that buyback on Jerax. But as Ben said, the creeps aren't here.
It's backdoor. Can they breach through it? It's not looking like it right now. Maybe everyone hitting the same one.
That creep cutting isn't enough to hold OG in the game.
You see No Tails already running to just, he doesn't care. He's going to throw his life for this. He needs to just keep these creeps out of the base to keep that back door up. He doesn't care if he dies.
Which he certainly will as they get upon him. They find his life. 1 minute now without No Tail and without Seb. Thompson, Anna, and Jerax. The only 3 heroes that can offer their defense during this final minute, this final stand.
Jerax is really trying to hold on to his buyback.
As Chalice split of course up once again. They're finishing off this second set of racks. He's got the Cyclone holding Anna up in the skies. As this Rax on the top lane will fall, the melee Rax gone. PSG LGD playing this carefully. As they'll go down towards the bottom as well. Arme, doppelgangers, he's losing a fair bit of mana into the PL. Still able to shift back into that Morphling if needs be. As OG, they will lose that top Rax, but they won't lose the game. PSG LGD are playing it safe. They know how close they are to victory, and they will not throw it away.
And they know that the Roche is probably respawning pretty soon, and it actually is up, so that is that refresher shard. They already have pretty much infinite primal splits up anyway, but they feel very confident here.
They weren't able to de-ward that ward in the mid lane, so it looks like they are going for a Roche fake out.
Check. Anna is on top of X-Nova. The Ghost Head's going to get a set. Oh, he's in. The call, the MP, the counter, but F5 is in. He's able to get the save off in time to keep this man alive. Get it off. Chalice is down. Buyback from X-Nova and Chalice. FY with the Invis. Somnus looking to get involved. Pods the BKB to get over the ice roll. They get on top of Seb. Seb's in trouble. Seb's gone. The axe down once again for 90 seconds. As now FY giving them the vision, but they see him. Got the doppelganger to jump away from the snowball over to Thompson, the self-fuels, FY trying to buy time for the rest of LGD to come in, again, up into the air, Arme straight on top of No Tail, FY will fall, Arme looking towards No Tail, No Tail pops the hand of God, but No Tail beat it down by Arme and Somnus. Chalice gets the primal split off as Anna, he's been left behind it, Thompson, he's got to do something incredible in terms of the combo, can he find the angle, Jerax coming in, keeping Anna alive, Anna with the doppelganger, the deafening blast comes out onto the 2 of them, Anna trying to go in, looking for the kill, can he find it in time onto X-Nova, he's on top of him, trying to beat him down, Anna again with the doppelganger, now retreating back towards the base, as X-Nova will survive, Jerax back in, the combo, meatball, tagging bombs, the Shiva's gone, he's on top of Jerax, Jerax is gone, Anna as well, can he really fight back against the Somnus, and X-Nova is so low, as the buyback for Jerax comes in, he's healing Anna back up, that buyback could set them up for the kill on X-Nova, the cold snap, down onto the adjustor, they find him, he's out of mana, he's starting to shift into the strength, but he's surrounded, OG, can they find the ball? They can! OG are still in the game, Arme buys back immediately, but now it's PSG LGD's turn to be without 2 of their supports. Seb's going to be back up in 8 seconds.
Oh my god, that buyback from Jerax onto that shrine, being able to save Anna, but Anna also
Dire
toying with
team
them with
back.
that doppel. He set the illusion, they thought that was the real one. They actually couldn't finish him off, even though they got the thirst vision of him for a second.
With the level 25 talent on the doppelganger, it's
Look at
really
this.
hard to kill.
Seb,
Yeah.
he's looking straight for the play. Can he find Somnus? He's hunting. Somnus, he's there, Seb.
Better than the past few days for Longness in terms of hero picks, but they ended up playing musical lanes that really didn't work out. You need to be aware of those counter picks available to ASTER, and if you don't want to lane against them, please just ban them out. Like, Longness lost so much in the first 10 minutes that they really fell behind, and they made the same mistake we've seen a lot of teams do. When you see a heavy farming core, you can't just leave them there to farm. You need to deal with them while they're weak, and they gave way too much space to SCCC to really just find the farm he needed.
Right, like you got to the point where you had a spirit vessel there on the Ember.
10 seconds.
That's
remaining.
prime time making the plane happen up onto SCCC, but it's kind of like you said, they just never did that, and by the time they thought about it, he already had the shotgun up. But at that point, it's just way too late to do the morphling. Still, Game 2 draft is upon us now, it's about to begin. We do see the comp band up by ASTER, so they won't give that crazy value over as long as they do go ahead and pick up them. Pretty standard stuff. Because they do still have Grimstroke if they want to roll that in Grimstroke. but I guess the Coddle last game with the Bristle and the Ember is really considered quite overpowered. So
10
I
seconds
think
remaining.
that's all much more comfortable just knowing that one option. And they'll go with their own first pick. They go into that support bench.
Yeah, it's a solid opener for Aster. It will enable them to go for physical cores, and you see that physical core coming out really early for Aster. The Medusa makes its appearance, and it can be easily countered if you pick it up at this point in the game. Like, you find some aggressive early cores that just runs up and fights. Maybe something like a troll that rushes a diffusal would be really good here. As long as you play aggressive, it won't give too much space for the Medusa to grow big. But if Longinus doesn't fix that issue from game 1, Mike, well, the Medusa works kind of like the Morphling. You leave it alone, it farms like a madman, it comes out fully geared, and suddenly you struggle to deal with a hero.
I think the Morphling that way, it farms a lot faster. And it does get to that point with the Medusa where you just can't look. Like, it's almost like a Spectre in the really late game where she just can at some point. There are ways to deal with her. You are going to have to kind of deal with her in the draft right now. And well, Longinus, they have a very, very long think about it. You already have that natural in the Ember, so it's a good start for Longinus. But this second pick, it just seems to be taking a very, very long time for them. I'm not really sure what there is to think about here. I suppose they just want to make sure they don't get baited by this second pick Medusa, and for now they do go into the Winter Wyvern.
It's a solid hero, right? You have great sustain now with a Winter Wyvern. You block out some of the damage the Medusa can get out in the middle, and Winter's Curse is one way to deal with that Medusa. So it's a solid pick overall for Longinus. It is still a great laner, has some great presence to bring as well. You would start to look for stuff you can build off the back of that Winter's Curse now, just to really build up in terms of potent team fight here for Longinus. You might be seeing maybe a Phoenix coming out, although the Medusa might make short work of the egg. It's not an issue when you have the Winter's Curse running as well, so that's an option for Longinus. They could maybe opt for the Snap that we have seen kind of drift away, but Snap Winter Wyvern was a potent combo, which a lot of teams, they worked it out for themselves a lot. Like, it's an easy clump up with a lot of damage. Again, another really nice way to deal with a Medusa.
Yeah, it certainly is. Like, that Mortimer's Kiss's damage can really go through the meta pool, especially because she does like just stand there and look back while she's got Stone going over else, but even standing that pool of fire does DPS over time, so I wouldn't mind seeing that. I'm not sure if it's going to be a strong enough support duo here for Longinus, because you already have the Wyvern, which should be probably run as a pulse
10
5.
seconds remaining.
Generally speaking, Snapfire will probably also be considered a pulse 5, so
remaining.
not really sure if they'll opt for that. I suppose there are going to be other options to come out here, but we can only wait and see. Well, ASTER go for a great assassin pickup, and we saw yesterday up against an Ember, and it did not work well for that.
Yeah, it's just really painful up against Nyx. So many ways to get your disable off. And it's just really hard for Ember to pump out the damage he wants. Nyx will punish you for being a bit too aggressive. And I like that. It's a great pick for Aster. It's just a solid sort of support.
5 seconds.
I mean, you have some flexibility to perhaps run it off, but it's been a long time since we've seen the core Nyx. So more than likely, in that support role, should have space to grow, because the Venge can be a bit more sacrificial in that sense. So you look towards seeing perhaps a fast Meteor Hammer or a fast Blink coming out, or even a Spirit Vessel on Nyx, a natural carrier as well. So many options there for Aster. Longinus now, and that Nyx does kind of block out some of those team fights they would want, simply because Spike Carapace is so hard to play into, and it makes it harder to opt for maybe an Int hero with Burst as well, because the mana burn is super... It scales way too well up against Int heroes, so not going to be able to pick that for mid. They do pick up the Rubik, and there are a lot of nice spells, right? Nyx is great to steal from, Venge is okay, Medusa probably the worst person to try to steal out of unless you get the Stone Gaze off, but not the flashiest game for the Rubik, but there is a lot of solid control to take.
5 seconds.
Yeah, I
remaining.
mean, the Impale is great, the swap is great. Mostly the Impale, of course, is what the Rubik's going to be aiming for. In terms of that...
Nah.
Dire team pick.
Puck.
feels a bit lacking. Still, Aster, they continue now, going for a puck. John, I gotta say, the pick.
Yeah, it ties into what Aster wants, right? They need a team that can run fast, force fights early. The puck allows them to do that with Avenge and Nyx. Reaches into the back line
10
quite
seconds
easily, which is
remaining.
really important, especially if you want to take care of the Winter
5
Wyvern.
seconds
So you've got a
remaining.
great way to burst that nasty backline that can cause issues for your team fight. And not only that, but
Team back.
up against the Ember down mid, it's not a very easy time for the Ember. The puck has a lot of ways to kind of make that lane work out for itself.
Well, rather interesting pick to be made here from LONGINUS. They go for the Ursa. Now, as far as my memory recalls, John, Ursa tends to get quite a lot by Medusa puck.
10 seconds remaining.
I think there's some decent potential to get through the mana shield of the
5
Medusa with this
seconds
Ursa, and
remaining.
naturally, with the Ursa, you can really set a pace that to cut this Medusa draft, but at the same time, if it does go mid to late game, Medusa has a Stern Gaze up, maybe has a Panther or Eye of Sky up, suddenly that Ursa, I don't think it's getting close.
Nah, it's a really hard game for the Ursa, just because the kite ability is already there. Like, say that you get a BKB, even if you get that, like the Stone Gaze is still going to be an issue. The Venge swap will always be there. So even if you walk up close, as long as the Venge is spaced out, you're not going to get the
10
damage out
seconds
onto the
remaining.
Medusa. It's going to be really tricky for LONGINUS to maximize that
seconds
hero.
remaining.
And you mentioned it coming online fast, maybe getting the damage out. I mean, it can. I think that you're going to be having an easy time finding the Medusa in the first place with the Ursa. So you're still going to be depending
Dire
on the
team
Ember Spirit to hunt that hero. And
Radiant
it's one of those picks that we see LONGINUS dip into a lot. It's not the most confidence inspiring. They do close out with Nature's Prophet. So LONGINUS now has decent push potential with the NP. At the very least, they can shove some towers out early. You've got global reach, or very long reach, with the Ember Spirit and NP making rotations. That is one way to keep the Medusa in
10
check.
seconds remaining.
LONGINUS will have to play this draft fast. Not like game one. They need to
seconds
find the
remaining.
Medusa and stop it from farming up. If they don't do that, then we'll probably see a repeat of game one. Like, quite frankly, the Medusa, as you mentioned, is even worse than Morphling when it comes to giving it space. Like, it will get so much bigger very fast.
Now, Aster, they will finish off with the Batrider. I love the ending. It's just a fantastic way to finish this off. Aster, now you've got the catch for the Ember. You can catch the Ursa or kite him back out of the team line, out of range of that Ursa, out of range of that puck. I don't know, LONGINUS, I mean, I want to have faith in this draft on, but it doesn't bring much, I don't get inspired by it.
No.
I'd love to see it work though. Of course, we want to see a game 3 happen between these two teams, so see what LONGINUS can do. I dare say you probably agree with me on that Aster do look a lot better with their draft.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just so much easier for them to pull this off. Like, Medusa, again, scales really fast. The 4 heroes they have beyond her plays fast early on. I guess the hardest part is distributing EXP to the Nyx, but we've seen Fade get the EXP he needs. Like in game 1, he found it pretty quickly. So I expect decent timings in that Nyx. Team Aster to play as fast as they can away from their Medusa, and LONGINUS needs to hunt that Medusa. Those are the conditions for both sides. It's just a lot easier for Aster to get theirs done. Like, you even considering like the big team fights for LONGINUS, like say a Winter's Curse comes out, if Baboka's not caught, Baboka can just swap them further back, making that fight harder for LONGINUS. So all the tools are there for Aster to make it really difficult for Longinus to find their own win conditions.
Certainly true. So we'll go into it, a beautiful starting screen here. So I swear they didn't have this in the first game. Apparently they do now. And I could have sworn it was... Am I...
No, it's there. It's really... So how it works is that the featured player is the one who uses their loading screen, their versus screen. And you have to equip the TI-10 loading screen to get that interactive screen. So some players haven't switched up. It's a bit of a shame. You paid for that service, good sirs. You might as well use it.
And that is a shame. Because we want to see those things. I know you like it quite a lot.
Yeah.
Well, we at least perhaps see once, I guess. Not all bad. I will, of course, go ahead and up some odds. And they were already quite high for Longinus in game 1. Got higher. 12.15 of Longinus. ASTER. Was it 1.2 they had first?
Yeah.
They had it at 1.01.
Oh man.
I don't know about the value there,
30
but
seconds
apparently
to battle.
it's a guaranteed win.
Pretty much. And again, Longinus, they've got a lot to work for. Like their draft can come online fast, but there's so many things they have to fight against. There's so many great counter tricks from ASTER. You would still want to see them work, you know, like they haven't won yet. They still have a lot to prove. Hopefully enough they can show us in game number 2 what they're made of.
Oh, absolutely, I hope so. Pia's gonna take a fair bit of harassment as he run out of that bounty rune spot. Still, the side of Longinus do manage to start with 3 bounty runes, so they do swipe one away from the side of ASTER. Nice little start there. It was actually Dodo who came onto the high ground of ASTER and takes one. As well as that, I see Courier. Oh, Dodo, no, it's too early.
Yep.
Gotta wait a bit longer than that.
Yeah, the missed opportunity, really easy, right? With the Arctic Burn, that additional range makes it a cakewalk to find that. But I guess they really don't want to shaft Piao. They just want Dodo to be on top of this offlane already to ensure that the Ursa's not going to be bullied out straight off the bat.
Got caught holding the hot pepper as well, John. Disaster for Dodo. He's can't get caught with that. You've got to throw it away. It's the whole point.
Yeah,
It's a hot potato, John. It's just a hot pepper.
yeah, exactly it. And of course, an icy hero like the Winter Wyvern doesn't necessarily enjoy the heat. You do see Fade get a nice pull off, so he is finding that EXP as that support mix. We've seen him do this before. I mean, in game 1, he basically had a free lane to himself. This time he has to work a little bit more at EXP on the Nyx.
The viewers, of course, don't do that in your pubs. Your office will hate you for it. But you're just trying to help. They will trash talk non-stop. As I experienced today, John. Did I mention that?
Did you get pull off?
I did, John. I got
Oh no.
but my offlaner was not happy.
Oh
But
no.
lane, a lot of damage being dealt out here on Longinus. It's the Baboka Venge M. Oh no!
Oh my
no,
God.
No, you can't turn around like that. Baboka finds a secondary magic missile. I guess they thought they were just gonna back off, but it wasn't the case. Baboka, he's a dedicated man. Goes all the way for it and does get the first blood.
Can we talk about how ridiculous this dual lane is? When you go level 1 aura with a Medusa, the damage shoots up, the range shoots up a ton. This is pretty such a basic combination, right? Like it's just a passive, but it's enough to really pump up the damage than something like a Medusa.
Yeah. Level 1, the bonus range for the attack. The Rubik trying to trade harassment. That's very
No.
fun. Can't trade harassment with STC while the Venge is around. Even when she's not around. I don't know if it's actually possible to trade harass right now. Maybe 8-bolt, sure, but even then I think he's not quite hitting as hard as he would want to. It is really ridiculous combo to have in this bot lane. Essentially, SCC should just be perfectly fun. as we saw with the first, they have plenty of kill potential if they so wish.
Yeah, and that's not something you can usually say about the Medusa lane, but they are really just playing it far forward. I love that SCCC doesn't go for Mana Shield at all, just opting for the Snake and Split very early to find the farm and kills.
Top lane success, and the last kill there with the Firefly. Just that level 3 mark, and as is customary for a level 3 battle rider, you must go for a kill. What he does. That makes it already. Meanwhile, bot lane, there was a bit of chase on Rubik, but he does get away with lift. And they're really trying to focus on slowing down the arm of this dude. I just don't know how possible that is. Like, they've got a tree protector, oh, excuse me, a nature's prophet, who can't actually summon trees. It's going to be more fun to Medusa. So, you've got to just try and like auto attack her. And she's got Mana Shield, so what do you do?
Yeah, it's not an easy lane for Longinus. I think at this point, yeah, it looks like they will just go for a bit of a swap, I believe. No, just a regenning back. You're not going to be slowing down this Deuce. I think that's it. With this specific Heroes, maybe if you swapped out the NP somehow, I don't think it's any better though. You just have to be really careful with your spacing. Deny the jungle. That's it. That's all you can hope for, and build up towards more items to control that Medusa. Although,
yeah,
no,
that's gonna be another one. Boca has that level 2 aura now, so that attack range slowly going higher and higher for SCCC, assuming Boca is around, which he was that time, and he, you know, the Medusa base damage is not actually very low. He's already sitting at 72, excuse me, 73. So you can't do that. You can't walk up and try to harass him. No, it's just not gonna work.
yeah, it's getting a bit concerning with how much SCCC is getting. Again, take a look at his skill build. No Mana Shield because he's not even threatened. Just split.
Look at this. Look at this. Trying to run away, Mystic Snake will fly out just to add insult to injury. And yeah, just active farming, just a calm game for SCCC. On the brighter side of things, at least for Longinus, SS is having a decent time in mid on. He is 3 last ahead of Chuan, but Chuan now has the haste rune active and he's going to start roaming towards that top lane, where they have already started trying to go up to Pierre, who is fighting around with XXS right now, but he is burning out.
Oh man.
Chuan, he'll come in, he completely whips the Dream Coil though. That is worse, he doesn't have the more, which is very, very disturbing.
Oh,
Chuan,
no.
but regardless, they get the kill on a very important target. It is going a rotation out from the Ember. SS activating the arcane rune here, bottled up for this. But it looks like he's gonna get nothing out of it, so he'll just run it back mid.
Yeah, it's not the best use of that TP. This does mean for SS, there's going to be a bit of downtime for when he can make his next rotation. And ASTER, just from the laning phase, already dominant. 4-0, 2k advantage. This is not where Longinus wants to be. We talked about them having to play online a lot faster. They needed to shut down this map a lot more confidently, and their bot lane is the biggest issue. It's just, you can't really blame RNP and Moriarty. There's nothing they can do against this dual lane. All they can do is trade right clicks, and SCCC and Boboka have that in spades.
I love the fact as well that SCCC is intending on going for a Mask of Bandits build here on the Medusa. Just to really speed up that farm and even the DPS output, because he knows that they're not going to be able to actually get to him. The only person to get close is maybe the Ember.
Oh, Piao up top.
Yeah, that's not good. XXS, will be there in the US socket. Now the lift back. It's going to last. XXS is actually the one to go down. Fade finally get Impale off, but it will do nothing. And so that's a nice little turnaround there from Longinus. It does cost them a support rotation, but it's not like they really could do anything down at the bot lane anyway. It's worthwhile bringing him up top. That's one positive there for Pierre, who is really suffering in terms of net worth right now.
Yeah, it does give a bit of an opportunity to get his pull off more. So XXS comes back in, refreshed up, should find his level 6, and so it's up. Nothing is going to stop him from jumping Piao once more.
One, trying to have a go here onto the root because he did take his Red rune and he wants to really find some form of punishment for that. Meanwhile, his T1 iron start popping up and as Triple C gets even luckier, he finds an iron talent. So I mean, it's just perfect, isn't it? He gets an iron talent, Bo3 finds the keen optic. You couldn't really ask for more. Perfect kind of itemization already for both the two. For the perfect tag team.
Yeah, they're not going to be leaving this bot lane anytime soon. They're just content to farm up and have everyone else fight each other.
Now trying to go off the XXS, they will rotate to the ball, but now an impale set up from Fade and a double team call there from Twan. Still they try and chase the Bad Rider, but alas, it is going to be there. He'll lose his one, the Prophet will lose his as well. Well, SS is here on the Ember. He can try, maybe find a pick off, and then can go on to Fade. That overextended panel. Caram's also available, but he would burn out the flame gun anyway, so they just find the Nyx assassin, so it's not all bad.
No, it's a nice little boost for SS. Make that rotation a bit worthwhile. Gives the Ember the gold, and if there was a hero you're going to build off of for Longinus, it is that Ember Spirit. So the fact that SS is still finding parity with Chuan is good news. That means your Ember will be at a point where he can fight early for the team.
Back of this wondering what point afford to maybe smoke, try to play on this Triple C.
Yeah, it's
even when you're gonna have to do with this Nyx assassin being dead on the break smoke every time. So, you'll see Bo3 and they haven't really left this Medusa yet. We'll see Says coming with an Invis road. He's pretty good. He's got his bodyguard on left and right. There's gonna scan up. There's gonna be Rubik was trying to take an outpost. There's not great timing for the outposts. We're 1.5 minutes in. We've already missed that timing. I guess they wanted to take it, try and secure these ancient stats. Make it a bit hard for SCC to take them. Is to get them for free anyway.
Yeah, look at that farm. Look how much SCC is getting from that. Yep. It's just piling up. And Longinus, I mean, they need to play aggressive, but they need to play it smart as well. You can't feed these kills to the Medusa. Like SCC is at 5.5k net worth, just about is starting to build up, and with a Mask of Madness, it's just gonna go higher that much faster.
That it is. With that Mantis Spell coming up next, it's gonna continue to escalate. Looking back at Pierre, he's trying to get that pattern up on the Ursa, but he is very far off. Still seeing the middle pack in terms of net worth.
No.
A lot of reliance here is going to be on SS, but he's even struggling. Just trying to find the blade power right now on the Ember. Just not quite getting as much as he wants. They're going to smoke up. They're going to try and make some sort of play happen, but bot lane Pierre is currently getting ganked as we speak. If you do make the smoke rotation bot, there's 4 heroes there. So the only option is really to go mid. But even then, to kill off Twan on the puck, I don't think you have enough lock.
No, they really don't. And they would have to commit Winter's Curse somehow, and then land the chains as well, which is still level 2. So it's not amazing. It's just really hard to keep Twan in his spot, and that limits the potential targets for Longinus. ASTER is playing this great. They're just playing around SCC and kind of using him as bait. Like, they know the enemies will rotate in. They even see the obs ward here. I believe Boboka did see that with a wave, and they're just, I'm not sure if they're willfully ignoring it.
He's scared. Prophet.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Keep on this Prophet, make sure he doesn't escalate too far from the farm. Trying to build into what seems like a Desolator right now. In fact, never mind a battle strip. Bottom lane. Ruby trying to get some solo XP in farm, but it will cost him his life, of course. Pretty standard stuff as a support. Well, Triple C is taking the T1 tower. Just casually taking it. Nobody's there to defend it. And yeah, he pops the Mask of Madness. They do glyph it. They have smoke up. Smoke breaks on Dodo. I guess they can get the denial, so they deny some gold away.
Dire's middle
T1
tower
tower is
has
so
been denied.
important.
Oh yeah. Now they don't really have the best access point to jungle, so that means SCCC is pretty much as protected as he could be here. And again, that just means a lot of free farm for Medusa. Oh.
That's going to be there for Faye. Just trying to set up here for Pierre, but Pierre can't actually break the gap fast enough. Now the Vendetta's going to be there. You have protection. They do, but it's just reward of Nature's Wrath. Will be enough to actually secure the kill. Is XXS also found the Nature's Prophet as he was using that Nature's Wrath. That kill was actually super lucky for Longinus. I don't think they were intending for the Wrath to kill him off.
Oh yeah, that was lucky, very lucky indeed. They are glad to have it though. Look, they desperately needed to find a kill. They did expend the Chris for that. So if they missed out, then that would have just been really wasteful. But they are, you know, slowly finding some farm across the map as well. Like Piao is still progressing towards that basher. It's not fast, but they're not too far behind at least Chuan. So the only standout farmer here is SCCC, but otherwise from Piao and up, it's not too bad. There are ways to still fight once those basic items are up and running.
I think so, because I still feel like he gets kited by this Medusa.
Yeah, it's still not a good,
Dire's bottom
still not
tower
great
is
against
under
Medusa,
attack.
but I think you can jump everyone else at the least. Although,
I mean, that's fair. Bot lane. Curse and the
Oh,
Bird
no.
gets the swap down, and now SS gonna die. Yeah, trying to
no.
the gap, but of course Gaze is there. They've lost Dodo on the Wyvern. Looks like the roof will try and jump in with the Suns. Can't kill Baboka. The Venge does get away, and now Chuan is making the chase on Kiao. If they leave him be, they don't even care about the use. He's a non-factor right now. They just try to apply more tower pressure as well, we think the Nature's trying to chase down a full spirit, but he's already DP'd out.
Radiant's courier has
He
been
will
killed.
find Chuan brilliantly, so there's a bit of a constant prize for the sign of Longinus. Now XXS is to claim his own prize, and well, TP will be successful because there's no lasso, so it's okay. He's managed to go back home, get his monster back, profit. There's no 9k net worth lead on that.
Dire's bottom
yeah,
tower is
and
under attack.
it's not going to be shrinking anytime soon. It's weird. Like, you want to say it's time to hunt the Medusa once you get these items up, but you can't actually deal with Medusa with the farm SCCC has. So it's time to hunt everyone else, but everyone else is doing pretty good as well.
Here we go, pretty cool to be there on tour. Great flame break. No, the impulse, but he does not manage to win. At least this curse does kill off XXS. Made me all just body block up who can't take off. He will die anyway.
Oh,
Maybe he
Miss.
won't.
Dire's bottom tower
One.
has fallen.
Oh,
Radiant's
very
bottom
nicely
tower
positioned.
is under
Yeah,
attack.
goes there. Well, terror and the auto attack. They found that bottom tier tower as well, by the way. S stood there and took it. And speaking of, he's very, very close now to picking up his first ultimate for his Eye of Scarlet.
yeah, it's just gonna pump up his stats a lot more once the Scotty is up, whereas the HP negative aura is really hard to play against. Piao? No.
To just stop Fade from taking the outpost. That Spy Carapet's gonna stop Piaf from getting damage though.
Radiant's courier
Well,
has
Astor
been killed.
feeling very confident right now. They can just keep pushing. See what feeds the lasso straight onto that Ruby. Just not wasting time with success.
Dire's bottom tower
He doesn't. He'll take the solo pick off from the support and Ruby can just go straight into that T2 tower. Just very, very easy stuff for Astor.
has fallen.
Yeah, they managed to pretty much find all the objectives they could want. They could easily rotate to mid now. In fact, they might find a nice kill as well.
Yeah, Piao getting caught out. Doesn't reach. Still trapped up. He's gonna turn around. Oh no, Fade had the spike purpose. Piao didn't make a run for it and he's gonna die.
Is under attack.
SS was dying while remaining away. And this is surgical from Astor. I mean, just going across the finding T2 counts. they could just literally go top and finally get on third tier 2. They might do it as well. In fact, XXS now finds the profit by himself.
Yeah, that's
No competition here for Aster, it seems.
no. There's nothing Longinus can do. They depend on maybe a massive Winter's Curse, but that's just a lot of pressure to put onto the Winter Wyvern. And Dodo has had a couple big ones. It's just it hasn't been enough.
And Esmer run into S-Triple-C. They do have to curse, and that's going to be a big one. But he does. So that's some good news. A nice curse coming out on the side of Longinus, and I guess that's the one thing they can kind of depend on, assuming they land it, is getting that curse off and just killing someone like Trauma ASAP due to how much damage S-Triple-C was dealing.
Yeah, that's really it. That's the only way they can kind of build up. Beyond that, though, it's not looking great just yet. Like, you do have items up and running. Like, Piao has had a basher for a while. We haven't really seen it just yet because he can't fight. SS is saving up for the Ags. He is still 3k away. Up and running, your Ember Spirit will be a lot harder to deal with, and Aster doesn't quite have any defensive items on them, although you will have to worry about the mix, which is really, again, one of the things that Longinus has been struggling with. Fade has just been way too hard to deal with a Spike Carapace. So there are a lot of factors for Longinus to have to consider before making those offensive moves, even with the item pickups.
A final outer tower now, also going down. This Triple-C gets that tier 2 top. I suppose now you just look to finish off that Eye of Skadi, which, by the way, Triple-C apparently has now on way on the courier. And I believe you just go Roshan.
Yeah,
That we do.
nothing to stop them. And with Baboko around and the Wolf, it's not that hard.
Definitely going down very quick.
That's just one hero. That's just it's a Medusa.
Medusa. It's just the stats and base damage you're getting from the Alpha kind of vengeance. Look at S-Triple-C, plus 117 damage right now.
That should help.
Helm of the Dominator giving them plus 20. Alpha giving them plus 30. Kind of. One will argue it's not very balanced, John, but who are we to judge?
What? Chuan? No. Can't even jump. You can't even take the puck.
Yeah, Piao is probably going to be in trouble as they are looping around as well. Well,
Oh,
Fate going to join in now. Piao, Quan, wants to be that here comes XX. You have Blast, so you really want to commit like this. You don't need to.
ooh.
Just
No.
better. XX actually paying tribute to Artifact there, not with the triangle for a second.
Cool, so sad. Why did they have to use him for so long? Just kill him.
No,
Just kill him.
Oh, you're gonna have a bit of beat him in there as well. Gotta use them up. Really let it sink in that they're dying. Maybe.
Piao is little vanguards up, Mike. So a recipe away.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, has it happened before? There's gonna be they're catching up again, it just melts. Yeah, they're going high around. This Triple-C looking towards that bot lane. There's a full creep there. No
Radiant's
stage creep. He needs stage creep. He doesn't need it.
Oh yeah.
Radiant
Yeah. Jump the socket. Triple-C
No.
mad fights. Literally just stands his ground.
Dire's bottom tower. Radiant's top tower
And
is under
he's got an edge anyway. Like, you kill him once. Maybe enough as it is, you're gonna have to. Oh, no.
No.
That ain't it, yeah. XXS also find a profit, and now they find Dodo. I really have to find that what's first to set up here on SCCC. In all fairness, nobody's standing next to the Medusa to really make full use of it. The Prophet apparently TPing right behind them. He's going to get caught out. A Dream Call straight onto the Ember. Stonegate is also there. GG's been called. They've had enough. And ASTER, at the very least, do win one series before they do take their leave from ESL One Birmingham Online.